Suicide!
We're losing this battle. Start fighting or I'll find someone who can. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Sniper! Enemy unit. Medic. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? We need repairs here. Medic! Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy troop! Enemy troop! Hostiles on the ground. Medic! Over. Enemy vehicle! Enemy forces, over. I need a medic quick. Do you copy? Attack! Enemy vehicle!
Need first aid! Here! Ammo! Here!
Hostile forces infantry spotted. Over. Enemy forces, over.
Ammo! Here!
Enemy forces, enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Enemy forces, over. Hostile armor sighted. Over. Do you copy? Enemy hostiles on the ground. Move out. Attack here. We need repairs, quick. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Hostile forces, enemy troops identified. Do you copy? Snipers on the perimeter spotted. Over. New commander is on duty. Move out. Attack here.
UAV online and ready.
Enemy armor. Enemy forces. Enemy armor. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy forces. Over. Enemy units on the move. Move out. Attack here. I need a medic here. Hostile forces spotted. Over. Medic. Enemy ATC. Enemy ATC spotted. Enemy ATC. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy ATC. Enemy ATC. Enemy ATC spotted. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? Running dry. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy armor. Enemy armor spotted. On the move. Enemy forces. Enemy ATC spotted. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Repairs, quick. Do you copy? Hostiles on the ground. We need ammo. Medic to this position. Over. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Supplies at your position. Vehicle dropped in your shot. Enemy AT. Enemy spotted.
Transmitting.
Enemy AT. Enemy spotted. Medic. Enemy armor spotted. Enemy ATC. Need ammo. Requesting ammunition. Over. You got it.
10-4.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy ATC spotted. Enemy ATC spotted.
online.
Enemy AP. Enemy spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy troop. Hostiles on the ground. Hostiles on the ground. Artillery, your area. Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy spotted. Spotted. Sniper! Enemy takes the hostile over! Enemy APC! Do you copy? Supplies in your position. Do you copy? Requesting ammunition. Over. Enemy forces spotted. Artillery, your area. We need ammo. Hostiles on the ground. Enemy AP. Enemy spotted. Enemy AP. Enemy AP. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy AP. Enemy spotted. Enemy enemy AP spotted. Enemy APC spotted. Enemy APC spotted. Enemy A spotted. Enemy AP. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy spotted. All clear. Position under control. Out. Enemy forces, over.
UAV
Position
online.
clear. Enemy armor. 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 Enemy armor spotted. Enemy units on the move. Enemy armor. Enemy armor spotted. Enemy units on the move. Enemy armor spotted. Enemy armor spotted. Enemy armor spotted. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Do you copy? Hostile APC.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy sniper spotted. Hostiles on the ground. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy forces spotted. Enemy APC spotted. Enemy AP. Enemy APC. Enemy spotted. Hostile forces. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy APC spotted. Enemy APC spotted. Enemy units on the move. Enemy units on the move.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy forces over. Enemy forces over. Troop. The enemy is in control. Enemy troop. Enemy vehicle.
Grenade! Get ammo here! Get ammo here!
Artillery, Supplies at your position. We got hostile armor. I owe you one. Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy troops. Enemy troops. Hostiles on the ground. Hostile APC. Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Hostiles on the ground. Enemy activity. Enemy units on the move on the ground. Enemy activity. Hostile APC. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Thanks, champ. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Enemy activity. Enemy APC. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? We need ammo. Enemy APC identified. Enemy tank is inbound. Over. We need ammo. Enemy units on the move. Enemy troops. Enemy APC. Do you copy?
UAV is being launched. Transmission ending.
We need ammo.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Artillery in your area. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? Supplies at your position. Enemy activity. Do you copy? APC. Enemy units on the move. Sniper! Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy sniper spotted.
UAV transmitting.
Enemy forces spotted. Enemy forces spotted. Sniper! Enemy forces spotted. 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 We've regained control. Great work, man. Get in. Enemy units on the move. Enemy APC spotted.
UAV online and transmitting.
Enemy armor spotted. Supplies at your position. Enemy armor spotted. We're losing this battle. Start fighting or I'll find someone who can. Enemy tank is inbound, over. Hey, thanks. We got hostile armor. Enemy APC. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Enemy sniper spotted. Sniper! Enemy troop! Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Enemy units on the move. Over. Thanks. I owe you one. Enemy sniper spotted. Sniper spotted. Sniper spotted. Enemy spotted. Enemy activity. Enemy infantry. Enemy infantry. Enemy infantry spotted. Oh! Enemy troop. Enemy tank. Enemy forces spotted. Enemy sniper spotted.
UAV transmitting on this mark.
Marketing key positions, over. We've regained control. Good work, men.
UAV offline.
10-4. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Hostile APC.
Transmitting
Hostile
on
APC.
command.
Enemy activity. Do you copy? All clear. Position under control. Out.
Grenade! Frag grenade! Frag grenade!
Supplies at your position.
Ammo, here!
Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Hostile APC. Enemy infantry. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Hostiles on the ground. Medic. Enemy activity. You copy. You copy. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the enemy units on the move. Hostile APC. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Medic. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Enemy units. Enemy APC. Do you copy? Hostile APC. Medic. Hostile APC. We're running low on reinforcements. Hostile APC. Hostile APC. Medic.
Transmitting on command.
Medic! Medic! Enemy troop! Enemy activity. Do you copy? Enemy units on the move. Enemy troop! Artillery, you're medic! Enemy infantry spotted. Medic! Medic!
Transmitting on this mark.
Enemy units on the move. Do you copy? I'm bingo on ammo. Do you bingo on ammo? Do you copy? We got hostile armor. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Supplies at your position. Enemy units on the move. Enemy armor spotted. Enemy infantry spotted. Enemy units on the move.
Transmitting on this mark.
Medic. Enemy activity. Do you copy? Medic. Medic. Artillery, your area. Medic. Hostiles on the ground.
On this mark.
Losing this firefight. Start fighting or you will be replaced. Okay.
Smoke grenade!
Enemy activity. Over. Enemy on the ground.
Enemy activity.
On the move.
Over.
Attack area secure and under control.
Thanks, boss. Medic at this location. Enemy activity. Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Ammo here. That's clear.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Medic. Medic.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy ground forces. Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
All clear.
Medic now. Enemy ground forces acknowledged. Over.
Medic. To my location. Medic here.
Requesting support. This location. Enemy on the ground. Acknowledged. Over. Enemy activity. Acknowledged. Over. Enemy activity. Acknowledged. Over. Enemy on the ground. Requesting transport by location. Over. Enemy activity. Acknowledged. Over. Very good job.
Medic here.
New commander reporting for duty.
Thank you. Enemy on the ground. Enemy on the ground on the move.
Recharging system.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Line interest meeting.
Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Acknowledged. Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Acknowledged. Over. Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Enemy ground forces spotted.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Incoming sniper fire. Incoming sniper fire.
Affirmative. Very good job.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy activity. Enemy ground forces. Enemy on the ground
And under control. 20 artillery moving into
Enemy activity. Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy ground forces. Enemy on the ground. Enemy activity. Enemy ground forces. Enemy ground forces.
enemy car spotted. Enemy car spotted.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy activity acknowledged. Enemy forces confirmed on the move. Enemy sniper.
We have lost command of an outfit.
Incoming sniper fire.
Very good job.
Enemy activity back.
We are losing this firefight. Start fighting or you will be replaced.
Enemy on the ground. Enemy forces spotted.
Medic at this location. Medic at this
Back. Enemy activity acknowledged. Back. Thank you. Enemy on the road. Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Drone out of view. Transmission transmitting on this
Enemy forces. Enemy activity on the move. Acknowledged.
Enemy
Over.
forces confirmed on the move.
Enemy ground forces spotted. Enemy ground forces spotted.
Enemy activity acknowledged. Enemy on the ground. Enemy on the ground. Spotted mobile AA. Over.
Medic here. Enemy forces.
Enemy sniper. Enemy forces. Over.
drone out of fuel. Transmission and
Back. All you want. Enemy forces. Enemy fire now. Enemy forces confirmed. Acknowledged.
Medic here.
Over. Out of ammo. Acknowledged. Over. Enemy on the ground.
Enemy car spotted. All clear. Area secure.
Pass. Grenade! Medic now. Grenade! Inbound. Sorry. Grenade! Grenade!
Thanks, boss. Thank you for your mission.
Ammo here. Medic. Enemy.
We have lost command of an outpost.
frequency.
Grenade!
The enemy is overrunning us. You must fight harder.
Enemy on the ground. Enemy ground forces. Enemy on the ground. Knowledge. Over. Enemy activity. Acknowledge. Over. Enemy forces. Enemy forces on the move. Enemy ground forces. Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Attacking your objective.
Enemy activity. Acknowledge. Enemy activity. Acknowledge. Over. Enemy activity. Acknowledge. Acknowledge. Over.
Enemy forces observed. Over.
And out of ammo. Acknowledge. Over.
Enemy forces spotted.
Enemy activity. Acknowledge.
Grenade! Grenade!
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Moving into baseline position. Enemy gun force. Enemy gun
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Charging.
Enemy gun force. Enemy gun force is spotted.
Enemy on the ground.
Enemy gun force. Enemy gun force is spotted. Over.
Drone online and transmitting.
Enemy gun force. Enemy gun force is spotted. Enemy car spotted. Enemy car spotted.
Medic now! Enemy sniper!
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Drone online and transmitting.
Enemy forces spotted.
Medic here! Medic now!
Ammo required now.
Enemy forces spotted.
Medic now! Medic now!
Enemy forces spotted. forces spotted. Enemy ground forces spotted. Enemy ground forces area spotted.
Enemy on the ground.
Enemy ground forces spotted.
Enemy forces confirmed. Enemy on the ground.
Enemy ground forces spotted.
Enemy activity acknowledged. Over.
Medics required now.
What ammo do you require?
Enemy sniper! Enemy ground forces. Enemy forces. Enemy forces. Enemy on the ground. Enemy on the ground. Incoming sniper fire. Enemy ground forces. Enemy activity acknowledged. Over.
Enemy ground forces spotted.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Drone online and transmitting.
Move to enemy sniper location. Enemy ground forces spotted.
Enemy activity acknowledged. Over. Enemy ground forces. Enemy on the ground.
Very good choice.
Incoming sniper fire.
Friendly artillery moving into baseline.
Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Enemy sniper.
Enemy activity acknowledged. Over. Enemy activity. Enemy activity. Enemy forces confirmed on the move.
Grenade!
Enemy ground forces.
Grenade! Grenade! Grenade!
You supply your location now.
Enemy sniper. Enemy sniper.
Vehicle being supplied by air okay?
Grenade!
Enemy activity acknowledged. Over.
Drone offline.
Enemy on the ground.
Enemy infiltrating our our key positions. Air Force must it now. Over. We are running low on reserve.
Ammo here.
Sending ammunition resupply. Over.
Enemy activity.
Enemy airport spotted.
Enemy activity. Acknowledged. Over.